Good evening, everybody, and just gonna start that over. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the FTI Podcast on this beautiful Wednesday evening. Weather has cooperated with us this last weekend, and there was racing here in Ohio for the first time in a few weeks. Chris over here went to two different World of Outlaw races. I went to one, and it was so nice. This was the first event of the year that I went to with dirt racing. So my first dirt race of the year. And it was a pretty, the race wasn't that great. It was follow the leader, but it was nice to be out at the racetrack. See some acquaintances and just smell that amazing fuel and get back into the practice, because it was difficult at first. This was the only second thing I shot of the year. No, I take that back. I did shoot motocross.
That would be, I think, my fifth and sixth, or sixth and seventh.
Yeah, you're just everywhere.
I'll tell you one thing with this weekend: you need to make your way out to Attica. That was a beautiful track. It's a very cool panning locations, and by panning location, I was on a giant pile of asphalt grindings. And for the first couple hot laps, you were afraid of falling backwards or forwards. It was a very loose pile. You were bracing yourself up there. But yeah, definitely worth it. Beautiful facility. Huge facility.
Yeah, I did have a little bit of FOMO watching your snaps from there.
Very, very tight corners inside. So you were right there. Sheldon flipped like twice. Once into the catch fence, ruining the catch fence. That was a nice long red flag there.
Yeah, I don't think he did too bad at Sharon, though.
Well, he flipped twice at Attica, came back for 12th place.
That's definitely not bad.
A pull-up race pass to see his Sharon finish, but yeah, it was definitely worth it. You had Buddy Kofoid winning at Attica and David Gravel at Sharon. It was Sharon, kind of just follow the leader out there. That track gets rubbered up so fast that there ain't much there. Trying to do all of this while Newton demands attention.
Yes, nice. We at Sharon, we got to see a few friends. Some drivers that have been on the podcast were out there racing, so that was cool to see them out there and meet up with them. And
shout out to Leighton. And then Lance Friday at Attica. I got to see Dan for a little bit of Friday. I hung out with him during the support
he does
series.
Exist still. He is alive. Chris can confirm.
Can confirm. Oh, it would help if I went to the correct location. Sharon, it was Gravel Shots, Macedo, Schuhart, Selzy, Hot and Shield. Kofoid, Baylog, Zierfrost. Oh, yeah. It's basically all Outlaws top 10 with special appearance from Rico.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought I had saw him, and you were like, no, he's high limit. Why would he be here? And then I was like, I'm pretty sure that was him.
Well, they had
and then we
the high limit race Saturday night. So, but yeah, I didn't see anything on social media announcing it. I don't know. Maybe they're not allowed to.
who knows with their all these dang things.
I was also so busy all day Saturday trying to like grab some of my pictures from Friday night, make sure they were kind of ready to go so I could get them edited, the next day to be ready for my sharing pictures, pick you up. And it was an all over mess. I mean, I dropped you off Saturday night at 2:00, I think.
No, you picked me up closer to 4.
No, dropped you off. It was.
Oh,
it was 1:30.
Yeah, it was pretty late.
Yeah, so I got home Friday around 2 a.m., picked you up at almost 4, dropped you off at 2 a.m., got up the next day because I had all the dogs. My roommate was out of town, so they dragged me out of bed about 8:30 both days and edited the pictures up and got them up.
Yeah, it was definitely a really good time. Finally getting out to the racetrack, and next weekend we're heading to Detroit, which should be fun. I went last year.
Did not.
And so it'll be fun this year showing Chris. This is a place that I've shot that Chris hasn't, which is very rare. Does not happen at all. So that's a little exciting. But before we can talk about next weekend, we have to talk about this coming weekend.
The greatest weekend in motorsports at
Yes.
the greatest weekend to all that celebrate.
Yeah, so this past Saturday and Sunday was INDYCAR qualifying for the Indy 500, which we were watching and listening to. Not watching because Chris was driving, but we were listening to it in the car on the way to Sharon. And it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was sitting at Sheets when that happened.
Yeah,
because I had to go get.
That was interesting. I don't want to say bad things about the 500 because I swear anytime you do, everyone's like, but it's tradition and everything like that. Like the one thing I absolutely hate is the milk. The milk is freaking weird. It's disgusting to me. Milk is gross. But the qualifying procedure on, or the last chance, for the bottom however many to make it into the final 3. Well, it can change, however many are there, which in recent years it's been one or two. It's not like we're having 60 entries for the Indy 500 anymore. There's just, I don't think there's that many.
Well, we would have had
spec chassis still out there.
We would have had 1 or 2 more, the Able Racing entry, but I don't think they were ready in time.
Next year we'll have potentially 2 more. With was it Prima's starting an IndyCar team, so. But I think it leads to unnecessarily dangerous instances. To have to push these drivers, especially like what happened Sunday. You're pushing these drivers to go. or oh, you have 2 minutes. This is the last run you get. With the whole thing with Nolan Siegel. This kid had literally one shot to get it. Like,
all right, Marshall.
I did that. Is that what he said?
Marshall Mathers, Eminem.
I thought you were talking about Pruitt. I was like, was he going off too? I don't think he would. He's a IndyCar purist. But yeah, like I don't know. It just seems ridiculous. I think it's crazy that I honestly, it should just be, I know it takes away all the fun and they don't get to, I mean, seriously, if you want to get the bang for your buck, sponsor a damn IndyCar during the month of May, because that shit's going to be on TV like every 2 seconds. Like 9 practice sessions. You have 2 whole days basically of qualifying. And on the first day, you can take as many qualifying like you can qualify as many times as you want, which I think it's just unnecessary. There's so much unnecessariness.
I love
qualify
it.
The damn car. Do you know what the Coke 600, the other crown jewel of motorsport, the Coke 600, 1 qualifying session. It's just a standard NASCAR qualifying. That's all it is.
The Indy 500 is the Indy 500 because of the pageantry of the qualifying and everything. Because it's the entire month of May. I don't know. I like it because I can sit here and just put it on TV and watch it all day long.
I never said I didn't like it, but it's just insane.
So as you were saying that, I was scrolling through Twitter and I said Marshall Pruitt. Doug Bowles from IMS announced that they've sold 345,000 tickets.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Like I said a couple times before, I'm almost glad we didn't go because I don't know if I could handle 300,000 people.
Yeah, we're both not super huge on having to deal with people and crowds.
Most people who've met me, they can probably tell that I am very socially awkward.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to deal with all those 5 billion people.
Well, and then scrolling even further, gates open to IMS that day at 6 a.m.
Yeah, there's a cannon.
Yeah.
They shoot a cannon. Because, Indianapolis, let's shoot a cannon so all the gates can open at the exact same time. Because a simple, oh my God, if they aren't open at the exact same time, we can't just have somebody over it. All right, guys, it's time to open the gates. Sync your freaking watches. You don't have to have a.
I wonder what the rush is for some of like the grass spaces, because I'm guessing all the grandstands are reserved seating.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That
to get the the right spot in the snake pit.
Yeah, but
yeah, what freaking race has just a rave going on? Like in the middle of the race for people that don't give a crap about the race. Like nobody in the snake pit actually cares what's going on track.
I mean, I think of 90% of people who go to the F1 races don't care what's going on track. No. They're just there for the experience. Now, I mean, everyone I've talked to that's been to the 500 says that you need to go to the 500 and experience it at least once. I think we would, as photographers doing the event, it would probably be the best way to do that because there's kind of dedicated entrance, exits, and spaces for us to go.
There's shuttles. There's places to get away from the crowds, but even then, there's just so many of us at that point.
Yeah, because I was shocked at the amount that was at NASCAR and the double weekend last week.
It's just it's the world capital of racing. Then it never fails. It's always Monaco, the 500 and the 600 are on the same day, I think.
That's why it's called the greatest weekend in motorsports.
We don't have to include Monaco in that. It's a crap race. But I will say, what is it, McLaren? Was it McLaren with the special livery for this weekend in Monaco?
I think McLaren, and I think Ferrari's doing a different one. Yes, I think so.
With I think it's a Senna tribute.
Yes.
Let's see if I can pull this up. I apologize.
What was that?
My keyboard had a stroke. My R and E keys were stuck down, so it was just re. Yeah, let's see this thing. Yeah, special fire suits, or as the Europeans call them, overalls. The driver overalls. Just give me a freaking straight picture of this damn car. How freaking hard is it? They have this filter on it, like to make it all like old-timey looking. Just show me the damn car. Doesn't have to be some weird. Let's see. I mean, look at that. That does look pretty cool. Talk about who did it better, NASCAR or F1 on throwback liveries. McLaren, I think, does the best of the throwback liveries in F1, though. I mean, they did the golf livery. I mean, you can't beat that orange and blue.
I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of NASCAR, one of these years I need to make it down to Charlotte this week of the year for all of the shops being opened and everything. I'm scrolling through Twitter and ABR was open this week. They put LED lights on their forklift and put their forklift on display. Someone bought a ABR top wing panel, and I'm a little freaking jealous of that one. So, yeah, one of these, all the shop tours, I know like Dirty Mo Media is doing all kinds of different meet and greets and live shows this week. You go meet all of them. Like, yeah, I would definitely love to get down to Charlotte one of these years during the 600 week.
What the heck is going on? My keyboard is on one today.
More typing for you.
So, yeah, speaking of NASCAR, quite the interesting happenings in North Wilkesboro. And I'm not talking about what happened on the racetrack.
Not talking about Joey Logano leading 199 of the 200 laps, and the only lap he didn't lead is because he was in his pit box, and his pit box was before the start finish line.
What?
Yeah. he led every lap but one, and that was because his pit box was before the start finish line. Brad Keselowski led that lap.
Could you hear that or no?
I heard just a static noise.
Oh. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this. Everyone's probably already seen this, but let's go ahead and let's.
I mean, the pictures coming out this week of, almost immediately of like Bob Pockrass falling to the ground, and everyone making memes out of that. Of Davey Siegel, of Kyle Busch landing on top of Davey Siegel. I mean, the internet remains undefeated, and it was, moments after all of that happened.
It was absolutely insane. Like, yeah, this one here with Stenhouse here at the beginning.
Just leaning on the hauler.
How you doing?
This is literally just
might punch Kyle Busch later.
This is literally the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Oh, fuck! Here we go again.
Yeah, it was just, then Richard Childress saying that
he'll fight Ricky. Well, you have Ricky's dad, who's indefinitely suspended because he got involved in it.
Yeah.
And today or yesterday, the penalties came out for the fight.
Yeah, here
$75,000 fine, and you have a lot of people talking about, NASCAR's using that as promotional material now. They're showing the video everywhere. It's out on everything.
They fine him, and then
no one cared about the race itself, just the fight, because the race was fairly boring. I'll give SMI and North Wilkesboro credit. They proved Denny wrong. The repave held up. They kept some character in the track with the bump in turn 4, giving some guys some problems. But yeah, no one cares about the race because it was boring. Joey Logano led every lap. But yeah, you're going to fine Ricky, suspend his crew members, suspend his dad indefinitely, and then use the fight in all your promotional materials.
Yeah, it's a weird move by NASCAR. But it is almost two entities, it's the entertainment side and the officiating side. And they don't always do the same things. I will definitely have to set my fantasy for this weekend.
Oh,
if I remember.
Forgot about mine this weekend. I think I had only forgot once this year. Then speaking of the All-Star race, you had Noah Gragson win the fan vote. And I do got to say, yeah. Well, it was for the fan vote is for people who haven't made it in yet.
Oh.
So. But, he's been super popular all over social media this year. The Zin stuff has been very popular. He made that shirt of his logo as like a Zin can.
Oh boy.
His thing's been ripping sixes, and I don't know if I rip a six, I end up with the fucking hiccups for 2 hours. Kind of like those velos or whatever that you got from INDYCAR.
Oh yeah, those things were vicious.
Well, weren't they 8, 12?
20? I think they were 20.
Well, I've gotten on some of the TikTok, and like the Europeans, they'll do like 24 milligrams and stuff.
Oh Lord.
There's people that like specifically import like European nicotine pouches. Yeah, if I were to do
log in to look at.
I did a 4 in the ons last night while chewing on ice and ended up with the hiccups, so I'd probably die.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were 20s. And I felt like I was going to die.
I'll tell you one thing I'm going to need to pick up next week while we're in Detroit is one of the Kyle Larson hats. Hopefully they have them. But I also don't want to pay the price they want for a hat. They are $45 on the INDYCAR website.
Ooh. It's a little steep.
Maybe we can pick up some discounted Little Dave merch while we're there.
Speaking of Dave, I am so happy that he has been doing stuff for INDYCAR media.
I was gonna say I saw something from INDYCAR or Indianapolis today that he was running around interviewing drivers.
Yeah, I think that is the best thing to have him. Okay, apparently they don't make velos in that high of a milligram. Oh no, maybe they do. This one says 17 milligrams, so maybe they were. I thought I was just being like a little bitch for a second. That one says 17 milligrams. That is why.
That's quite a lot.
Per pouch. Why? Why does it need to be that high? That's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a little much.
No. Some of them are 4. Like, they're all over the place. That's too strong. It's way too strong. Going back to INDYCAR, what are your thoughts on the front row lockout? Penske's front row lockout. Scotty Max, fastest
qualifying ever
in INDYCAR history. I just want to ask, did they tech these cars after they were done? Was push to pass on?
if they weren't so close, you know what I mean? Like a mile an hour difference. And they did do a really good job in some of those qualifying runs where you could see like Larson made a issue, like had a slight issue into turn one, where he bobbled just a little bit. And I mean, it's Penske. It's Scotty Mac Power, and who was the other one?
Newgarden. It's the only other Penske driver.
I couldn't think of. I have his
won the
diecast
500 last year
within 2 feet of me, but I don't know. It doesn't surprise me. I do like Pelot talking shit about him the whole time. Or not.
That was Rossi. Rossi.
I have mixed those two up for the longest time. You and I both know that.
One is from Spain. One is from
California.
So 2 different places. One has an accent, one does not.
But I do like him talking shit about him all week and then just kind of coming up short.
It is pretty amazing that the top 8 cars are all Chevys. Every single car in the top 8 is a Chevrolet.
I'll tell you what's kind of more annoying than the Penske lockout is Santino Ferrucci doing so well. Because
he did really well last year.
Yes, but I have found him to just be kind of annoying.
He's very nice. I've met him in person. He's very nice.
He looks like he could be, but I don't know. He also seems like he could be very, very annoying.
I also think it's really funny that the only RLL car that, did good at all was Takuma Sato. This is his only race.
I mean, he's a 2-time winner.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Castroneves taking his weird line, where he's the only one that drives that line, but he's got 4 rings. Do you fault him for? He doesn't qualify well, but he's got such a weird line that saves tires that he does it.
Do you know what's really weird is everyone craps on Stingray Rob, but he's middle of the pack. Like pretty secure in the middle. Like apparently he can do something. The weirdest one, and I wasn't watching earlier in the day on Sunday, but was when I tuned in and I saw Marcus Ericsson in Last Chance, and I was, what? He's fighting to get his way in. Like, what?
What happens when you wreck your car?
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, that's all kind of a blur. Like I said, I spent both days watching almost all the qualifying. So it's all kind of a blur. Racing Friday night, watching it all day Saturday, racing Saturday night, watching it all day Sunday. Yeah, like I said, I was at Sheetz when they were doing the last few minutes of qualifying because I had to go pick up dog. I'm standing in line at Pet Supplies Plus with my phone in my hand and the volume real low to see if anyone's going to make a qualifying run before any of it.
I was just happy that Larson made it, because that would have been extremely embarrassing to be another Fernando Alonso. But I mean, Fernando didn't have the best situation going for him. But I mean, I think it would be a PR nightmare if Larson didn't make it in.
Yeah, when he, in his Fast 6 run, I was sitting here, I was either still editing or uploading pictures from Saturday night. My roommate's cat was sitting in my lap. And you have to watch, because if you pick him up too fast, he'll open up his claws. So I had to, I started to jump up, but I picked him up fast enough that he couldn't get his claws out onto my legs. Because Larson and, at that time, only one other person had gone, but he had qualified number one at the time. I think I also jumped out of my chair when he qualified into the top six.
I mean, it was just amazing. Like, I know people, what was really annoying is people saying, is Kyle Larson as good as Max Verstappen? You should be asking the opposite. Max Verstappen races one type of vehicle, one series that's basically designed exactly for him.
Yeah.
Like Larson will go out and race anything. Wasn't he at a track this weekend or on Monday or something?
He
racing?
Did high
Was
limit
it Kokomo?
on Tuesday. Yeah.
He's just out there. He has one of the biggest days of his life coming up. And he's just like, yeah, fuck it. We're gonna go race.
The NASCAR chasm tweet I sent you guys in our group chat about, Kyle Larson flying over some Hobunk track in Tennessee, sees a dirt street stock feature for $25 to win, and asks if we have time.
Can we do it? I love how, like, all these drivers and stuff, and are just always just like, oh man, the car was great. And Larson, they're just trying to get a rise out of him, the media people, anything, and he's just like, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was good. I liked it. It was fun to drive that car. It's like he's not phased. Like, yeah, he gets that, yes, this opportunity is amazing and stuff, but it's still absolutely hilarious that he's like, okay, yeah, it's a car. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious how he's just so unfazed, so cool, calm, and collected. They were joking about Sunday night about Jeff Gordon carrying his bags, and
you have Tony Kanaan like talking about how awesome of a driver Larson is, and that he can't live up to what Larson's done, and it's just like, you're freaking Tony Kanaan. Like,
yeah,
it's so funny.
Got a different.
But then you also have people, all people posting on Twitter and comment sections saying they shouldn't hold the race up, the 600 for him.
Yeah, you had on. Even on Sunday, Fox had delayed the broadcast 15 minutes to ensure Kyle could make it into town on time, and people were throwing temper tantrums.
Yeah, it's
online, and you have the rumors that Trump could be at the 500 or at the 600, and that could throw a wrench into Kyle Larson's travels with restrictions in airspace and things like that. And I'll keep some of the my thoughts on that aside, where something as silly as a campaign event can ruin this.
I think it would be absolutely ridiculous to
Laundry's
not.
done.
Yeah, laundry is done. It'd be absolutely ridiculous to not hold the race up for Kyle Larson. And Mr. Hendrick has said the same thing, that he wants Kyle to do the 500.
I mean,
you've
spent a year hyping this up.
Yeah, you have all these partners, the marketing partners, and all these deals and stuff that are surrounding this one event.
Yeah,
it would be they're probably contractually obligated to do both at this point. Like, there's probably something somewhere, and NASCAR, they're getting stuff out of this too, like NASCAR and Advance Auto Parts were doing this do the double sweepstakes where you could win a chance to go to both events, and they would Larson you back. They would Larson you from Indianapolis to Charlotte, so you could watch both races in person. Like, and that was not involving IndyCar at all. It was only NASCAR doing that sweepstakes with Advance Auto Parts. So I mean, it's definitely mutually beneficial.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's beneficial for both series. It's beneficial for Hendrick and Kyle. You're going to have more eyes on the broadcast. Those casual viewers that may only catch the crown jewels, may only watch super speedways or whatever, are going to tune in to watch the 600. The 600 is the longest race of the year. I feel like every year I'm waiting for it to end so I can go to bed. And it's beneficial for everyone to get him there and get him in the car.
But
Speaking of wanting to go to bed, you had texted me this past Sunday about the fight, and I had turned it off. I must have turned it off right before it because I didn't want to watch a Giggles Victory Lane interview, so I turned it off, and kind of regretted that. Had to watch it on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, holy crap, what just happened? Like, I had just opened I think Instagram, and I was just like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an exciting weekend. I hope the weather in Indianapolis kind of clears up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited to go and go. You're coming out to my campsite on Sunday. We're having a party, but we're also gonna sit on the deck, and of course we're bougie, so we have a big 55-inch screen TV on our porch at the campground, and so we're gonna be watching both on the big screen, having a couple adult beverages, watching the races. Like we did last year. Last year we did it in my dad's garage on a tiny TV. That was fun.
Wayne County drivers, if I make it out on Saturday, which I will if the weather's good. Don't expect pictures till Monday. I'll shoot pictures out to the ones I normally. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. Like I said, I hope before we got on, I checked the weather for Indianapolis, and it's kind of 90% chance of rain on Sunday.
Of course.
We're looking okay for next weekend in Detroit, but I mean, trying to predict the weather right now is.
I know. I hope it doesn't rain in Detroit because that one it's all walking.
Yeah.
And it's a rain or shine.
Pack your rain gear. That way we won't have to run to Walmart.
At least our hotel is trackside. So if we get caught in the rain, you just go over to the pedestrian bridge and just go to the hotel room.
I'm pretty excited for Detroit. You made me not buy any World of Outlaws gear besides my hat that I got Friday night when you weren't with me. So
is this the one you're wearing right now?
Yeah, my Buddy Copeland hat.
You're the reason he won.
Yeah, me and Katrina. Katrina bought a hoodie too, so we
lucky charm.
we're the reason. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. Sheldon Hodenshield must make so much damn money on these Ohio stops for World of Outlaw. I mean, he had, if it wasn't a line of 10 people at his trailer all night, it was 3 or 4 at all times. I walked over there a couple times to kind of there was a covered patio thing. And at all times, he had a line at his trailer. I think I drank 3 NASAs that night.
He's got the best.
He's got the best looking merch. Oh yeah.
Like it's not even that it's just because it's the NOS merch. It's
and I mean the Ohio stops. He's from 10 minutes from Wayne County. He's the only Ohio driver on these big tours, so
I mean, even the Outlaws doesn't have the greatest merch.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of theirs is kind of ugly, and I don't know. I think some of these need to hire better designers.
Yeah, most definitely.
I
wish NOS would just sell stuff. Instead
I like
of
a lot of these
4 flavors of drinks, and that's it.
More vintage like shirts, like this Larson one I'm wearing. And I don't know, some of the Outlaw shirts, some of even the track specific or the the high limit midweek shows where they'll do the one-off shirts. They're just kind of cheesy and so, speaking of which, we're coming up on 50 minutes, so we'll probably end at about an hour. Who's your 500 pick?
Shit. Well, there's who I want to win and who I think is actually gonna win.
Okay, who do you want to win?
I'm not gonna say Larson because I think that's the obvious everyone's pick. Like, just because it's a great story if he were to win. Even better story if he were to win both races. He would be the first person in history, I think, to do that. I'm gonna say Rossi. I want Rossi to win. He performed extremely well in qualifying. Was doing great in practice all week. What?
I said that's only because your kid likes Rossi.
Yeah. I think it's probably going to be. It's probably going to be Palou or Newgarden to win.
I don't want Newgarden to win. Yeah, I mean, I would obviously, my preferred winner would be Larson. I mean, of course. I would also like and think he has a good chance is Scotty Mack.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't want to see any Penske win, though. I don't know. They made themselves easy to root against for this race because they're all up front.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, there's probably going to be some kind of crazy accident within the first couple, laps. I want to see Pato actually do good for once. I want to see Grosjean do good. I'm sure the performance of some of these drivers in this race is gonna weigh heavily on their next contract. I mean, it's the race.
So, just scrolling through Twitter as we're talking, Colton Herta, Kyle Kirkwood, Marcus, and Marco went to an elementary school in Indianapolis, I'm guessing, and did like a presentation to their students. They ended it with with chugging milk, and Marcus Erickson is cheering them on.
Oh, Indiana's such a weird place.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, the milk.
Kyle Larson milking the cow.
Yeah.
His face is just like
that interview when they're like, "Are you gonna milk the cow?"
He's like, "What?
What?
Excuse me?" How did nobody tell him about that until the last minute? They were like, "He's not going to do this if we tell him he's got to milk a cow."
Yeah, right. No, I mean, I'm excited for it. I really hope the forecast kind of changes for the weekend, because it'll be exciting. But yeah, I think at this point plans are Wayne County Saturday, coming out to you all day Sunday.
Yeah, despite what some people may think, I am staying at the campground all weekend. I am not going to any racetracks this weekend. I'm spending time with family and enjoying a nice, relaxing holiday weekend for once.
I have Monday and Tuesday off, so I took Tuesday off.
Nice.
Because I was going to go out to Fremont on Monday, but I don't think I'm going to go out there. I paid $45 for one Outlaws event.
Oh, there is Outlaws on.
Yeah, Atomic all weekend, and then Fremont on
I'm sure
Monday.
You could reach out to Mr. Farmer.
I don't know if I just want to go out again. It's going to be a couple.
It is a long drive.
That and just
it's like a 2-hour drive.
Intense few weeks coming up here with, we do Detroit next weekend, IMSA the weekend, Pilot Challenge the weekend after, with Speed Week trips after that if we decide to do that too. So, those will be 14-hour days if we do those. I think on Friday we definitely have to go to Attica because I think you need to see Attica.
Yeah, I want to go. We're gonna definitely. I'm going to talk to our friend Aaron Fry, and definitely make sure that we're on the list for those. I know Wayne County and Sharon were good.
Yeah. So it's going to be a long couple weeks, and save the clicks on my camera and just not try and kill myself with all of this.
The really fun part is I think June is our busiest month, because then we also have if we get credentialed, NHRA at the end of June, and then roll into INDYCAR So that will be it's a busy month.
Yeah, and if NHRA doesn't get back to us here soon, I'm gonna reach out to Grid Life and maybe do Grid Life.
Oh, is that at Mid Ohio?
Yeah, the weekend
Ooh,
of
that would be
NHRA.
fun.
Do you think he knows what time it is?
He said, "Feed me."
Look at the time. It's
I know.
7:07.
He knows. He
They
says you're late.
I'm surprised they didn't start earlier. So, all right, we did our Indy picks. What about the 600?
Oh, let's go with. Oh, I don't know.
Pick any Hendrick or Joe Gibbs driver, really.
We'll go with Tyler Reddick. He drives for Gibbs, right? Yeah.
2311.
Oh,
But I mean, might as well be Gibbs. I think they have an alliance
who's the other one that?
on Gibbs. Ty, Truex, Denny, and Bell.
Is Truex the one with the beast car?
No, the beast
No,
car is Tyler Reddick. The monster car for Gibbs is Ty Gibbs.
Why does Monster sponsor two different teams? That's so confusing.
Sometimes they do 3 because when Riley Herbst comes up, they'll sponsor Riley Herbst too.
These freaking I mean it's like Auto Nation. They sponsor freaking 2 or 3 different Indy cars. It's gonna be really fun watching IndyCar, trying to figure out what car is which. Which orange and blue car is it?
Yeah. Which of the 4 McLarens it is?
Which of the 4 McLarens is it? Kevin? Is it Kiffin Simpson? Is it Scott Dixon? Is it freaking Ray Hall?
Yeah,
Mr.
it's hard
Crossing
enough.
Guard.
Oh, dude, I hope they sell that jersey. I want that in a jersey shirt so bad. It's hard enough trying to, like, when you go to a normal Indy race, trying to figure out which McLaren is which.
Yeah,
You know,
now
You got 6 Pato pictures, and you're like, okay, I need Rossi now. And you're like, what? Oh, wait, that was Pato again.
it's something. I like that they're consistent and
Yeah.
they never change.
I have a feeling, I'm just gonna be my super optimistic self. Not optimistic at all. But that the 600's gonna be disappointing, and it's gonna be like Dennis Hamlin or William Byron or something.
It's gonna be Joey again.
Gonna be all this hype for the weekend, and it's gonna be like, oh, cool. Byron won by 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
I mean, the mile-and-a-half racing has been the best racing the past 2 years. So, I mean, this 600 was great last year. So, there is hope. But, it's going to be this built-up weekend, and then it's going to rain halfway through the 500. And then fucking, like, Denny's going to win the 600.
I mean, if this year has given us anything, it's going to be some kind of disappointment.
It's going to be rain.
Freaking Pelot's probably going to win the 500.
It's going to be Pelot and Hamlin.
Yeah, it's just going to be. I mean, Denny's on a streak this year, isn't he? He's
doing very well.
Him and Joey, right?
No, that was
that his first? Joey's first this year?
That was Joey's first win of the year.
Denny's won like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Joey, I think.
Where the hell did he come from this year?
I mean, Denny's always been very consistent, very up there. 2020, when I first got back into NASCAR, he won 9 or 10 races. It was every other week. It was him or Harvick. So, yeah. We're hitting an hour now. I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. Everyone, go out. And if you do anything this weekend, I'm going to stare right into the camera for this. watch the Indy 500. Just do that. Watch the 500.
Come to Wayne County if the weather's nice.
Yeah.
Or your local racetrack.
Have a drink, watch the 500, and enjoy the show. And hopefully it doesn't rain. Still, even if it does, have a drink. Enjoy your holiday weekend, everybody. We will see you next week with our recap of what the heck happened in both races. But until then, see you next week.
See you next week.